Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long. With me, as always, is my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, and gunner, Jacob Gloth. How are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm okay. How are you, Charles?
I am feeling good. I'm ready to pitch a TV show.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm ready to come up with an idea off the dome and tell everybody about it. That's what we're doing today,
weird.
Right?
Well, maybe if today was 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Because it's not that. It's my turn, actually.
It's your turn. Oh, well then, what?
This is a long-awaited pitch.
Is it going to be the one that
it's a long-awaited pitch.
Since
you've heard about it before?
Yeah.
I did tease it.
You teased it in Where the Tumbleweeds Blow. What was that episode's called? The wind that blows the tumbleweeds or something, right?
The wind that shakes the tumbleweeds.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
You might even remember a tease earlier, because I said I'd make this pitch for you. Ooh. And I did.
Ooh.
So this show is called Average Intelligence.
Ooh.
It's a comedic spy show set in the Cold War era. And our main protagonist, his name is Barley.
Mm-hmm.
You starting to remember now?
Yeah, I'm starting to remember now.
Okay. Now, Barley, he's our main protagonist, our spy. He is overtly charismatic. He's constantly getting himself into trouble. He's accidentally blunt all the time. An oversharer.
Okay.
Clumsy, but pulls it off as intentional. He's desperate for adventure. He wants to fight, but doesn't actually get into fight. Like he likes to build up. But he doesn't actually want to get into the fight.
He'll pick a fight. He likes picking a fight, but he won't fight a fight. He'll run away.
Yeah, as soon as someone throws a punch, he's like, "Whoa, I need to get out of here. This is too much."
Yeah.
And he'll get personal very quickly. In conversation with random people on his spy adventures. Like you'll see him at a bar at like a masquerade party. And he's supposed to be tracking this person so that he can steal a document or kill them or something. And he'll get into like a really deep conversation with the bartender about the meaning of life and what we're supposed to do and why we do our jobs. You know, are we only just our jobs? Is that all we are? Or is there more to it? He'll break down, talk about like all he wanted to do was bake bread in Nevada.
And save his sister.
Yep. The bartender will start crying. So the kind of aggression I was looking for is like, you know, someone is, because he's heroic. He's not a bad person. So if someone's like, you know, at the bar hitting on a girl who doesn't want to be hit on, he'll confront the person. Be like, hey, she doesn't want to talk to you. And the guy will be like, hey, you want to go outside? He's like, yeah, let's go outside. They go outside. Dude throws a punch. He's like, whoa, I didn't think this is what we were going for. I thought we'd have like a cigarette or something. Guy throws another punch. He's like, all right, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
I'm out. And, you know, skedaddles away through the crowd. Maybe throws a punch when the guy has his back turned. Because, he's doesn't want to get in the fight, but he knows when there's an opportunity. He'll throw the punch and then he'll run into the crowd because he doesn't want to get his ass kicked.
He seems like Barley strikes me as the kind of guy who would tie an opponent's shoelaces together.
Yeah, he fights dirty.
All right, good.
Fights dirty, but has a very heroic way of looking at things.
At the things that he does that are not heroic in any way.
Well, I mean, his intentions are good. Like, he wants to help people. It's just the way he does it isn't the cool macho way that you expect. Yeah,
it would be like he saves somebody, they're jumping out of like a plane together, and he saves somebody by like grabbing them and cushioning their fall with his body, but he lands like both of them land on like a bunch of old pensioners, so he just crushes like 6 old people, and he's like, whoa. Hero time.
Yeah.
If anyone is wondering,
maybe not quite as morbid. I don't know how we jump out of a plane in this show and land on pensioners, but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
The idea of like he's trying to be heroic, but he doesn't always do it in the way that is conventional.
Yeah. And if anyone is wondering, I do have a little bit of a sniffle and a little bit of a sore throat, so that's why my voice sounds...
No one's wondering. You have it every single week.
My voice sounds different this week than it does usually.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It's the same thing every week.
Nah, it's different.
Anyway, Barley has a handler. His name is Antley Bloth.
Antley Bloth.
Antley, A-N-T-L-Y, Bloth, B-L-O-T-H.
Okay, Antley Bloth. Okay.
Antley Bloth.
Antley Bloth, yeah.
Antley, A-N-T-L-Y. Antley. There we go.
I am saying it. I'm saying Antley.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Antley.
Okay, so Antley is the guy, you know, in the chair. He's the guy in the earpiece.
Yeah.
That gives he gives Barley directions, you know, tells him the mission, helps him out when he's in a jam, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But he's very, you know, it's not like typical movie relationships where the person in the chair is like, you know, kind of worships the person that's out in the field or likes them a lot, you know, wants them to do well. These guys aren't exactly friends in like that kind of way. They're more friends in the way that they hate each other.
They're work friends. And by work friends, they mean work people that they have to deal with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're friends outside of it. You know, it's the kind of guy that he goes to the bar with after work and they rag on each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. They're friends, but they obviously, it's like they lived together for a while maybe, and they know each other's quirks and they're kind of tired of each other.
Barley's always leaving the bar, like he's sneaking out the back, like he's going to the bathroom, making Antley pay his tab. You know, that sort of thing.
Keep doing that.
Antley.
With a T.
Antley.
I'm proud of you. Okay.
Antley.
So he's tired of his antics, you know, kind of crapping on him throughout the all the missions.
Yeah.
Being like, you could have done it like that. Wow, that's how you jump over a fence? What are you, like 60 years old? And he's joking with them.
Yeah.
But he's the guy that makes sure things actually get done in the end of the day. Because Barley will maybe get thrown off track, and Antley might have to actually go in the field and, you know, clean stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, he'll be behind Barley, and he'll be like, well, I mean, Barley will say at the end of the mission, like, oh, we did that so well. It was great. I'm such a hero. And he's like, well, I mean, you kill all the guys in the room, but I had to come in after you and actually get the document that we were there for in the first place.
Yeah.
You didn't have to kill the guys. All I told you to steal was the document.
Maybe we can have an episode where Barley, like, falls out of a window and, like, lands into a dumpster and, like, breaks every bone in his body. And so Antley's got to, like, do this whole mission by himself. But Barley is just so messed up in the head because he's got concussion. He's just like, I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the best. And this is set in the 60s, right?
Yeah, like, you know, Cold War era.
Yeah, so I'm just curious what kind of technology, like, does he have a radio transmitter that they can talk? You know, they have a walkie-talkie and stuff.
Little radio earpiece thing.
Yeah. Something in the...
He's got, you know, typical spy crap. He's got grappling hooks and, like... I like the weird sort of James Bond-y gadgets that we got in, like, the Pierce Brosnan era of James Bond.
Yeah, like a
So, like, you know,
dart.
pens that shoot lasers or something, or...
Yeah. Blow dart watch or whatever.
A checkbook that shoots blow darts, yeah.
Glasses that, like, are made out of acid. I don't know. That's something you could get away with in the 60s. Like, the glass in the glasses is actually, like, hardened acid. And if you, like, pour salt on it, it turns back into sulfuric acid and melts something.
Glasses, like you wear in your head?
Yeah.
Or glasses, like... Oh, okay. So you throw salt at the glasses.
At the
throw salt at someone's face, and it would melt in their face. That would be a hilarious scene. If Antley was trying to explain to Barley that this is the case. Like, there's... we gave the guy acid glasses, so all you need to do is throw salt at him. But he throws out his earpiece before, and he doesn't know what to do. He's in, like, a scrap with the guy, and they're in a dining room. He chucks a salt shaker at him, and the glass hits the dude in the eye, and he, like, you know, he throws his head back, but a little tiny piece of salt hits it, and it melts his face. And Barley starts screaming. He's like, "What did I do? Oh my god!" He thinks he's like some sort of god. He's like, "What is this power?" He gets out, and he's like, "Antley, I don't know what happened today. I think I need to quit. I think I might be the Messiah." And he's like, "You're not a freaking god, okay? We were trying to tell you all you need to do is throw salt at him, and it'll melt his face." He's like, "Oh, okay."
All right, cool. Maybe he just like that would be a funny scene if there was like a fist fight in the kitchen, and Barley, unbeknownst, like doesn't know that the glasses are a trap, but he's just like taking every spice off a spice rack and throwing it individually at this guy.
Oh, maybe he knows that it's one of them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know what it is. And it's
like,
just salt at the end. He's like about to give up and he's like, oh, it's freaking salt.
Like he knows it's an ingredient in what food should be. Like what food? It's an ingredient in making a, chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
like, something with a lot of spice, like a curry or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't expect the salt to be the spice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not really a spice, it's barely. And maybe he'll talk about that afterwards and be like, it's not even a spice.
Not even a spice, what are you, stupid?
Because you just told me it was salt. You didn't have to say, it's a spice in this dish. And then cuts out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I do like the idea of all these weird 60s gadgets.
I do too. It's fun.
Yeah.
So now you're probably wondering, well, who does Barley work for?
Yeah. What's his?
Is he American? Is he Russian?
He's Russian
British,
around.
maybe?
Yeah.
James Bond, MI6 guy?
Mm-hmm.
No. He's part of the Canadian Intelligence Service. All these people that I've been talking about, they have Canadian accents.
That's
Boom.
fun.
Didn't see that coming. Canadian Intelligence Service is CIS, Canadian Intelligence Service. That's actually what it's called. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a very childish joke with that name.
Mm-hmm.
We could say that the agents are called sissies.
That would be fun. I like
which
that.
Which would be funny. That's some good old 60s humor, I think.
It does seem like a 60s joke to make.
So that we could toss that in, maybe. And then we have one more character.
Mm-hmm.
There's one other Canadian agent we have. Her name is Ness. Sometimes works missions with Barley.
Mm-hmm.
I have her down as a potential love interest. She's very serious, very skilled, intelligent, kind person. She's the kind of person who reads alone at lunch and thinks she's better than everyone else, is what I wrote.
Yeah. She's like John Wick. She's like... That's what I'm imagining her as. She's just like a fucking murder machine, you know?
Well, they're spies. They're not always killing people, you know? It's James Bondy. They're not hitman John Wick style and running through. They got cool gadgets and they're, sneaking around.
Mm-hmm. Doing flips.
But they can kill people if need be.
I also think it would be funny if we made a joke. Like, Barley's just not in good shape. Because it was the 60s and you didn't need to be in good shape. Like, he just drinks, like, liquor for breakfast and smokes cigarettes all day. He's like, yep, I passed the physical exam. I was able to do one push-up.
Oh my god. I was kind of thinking of him like a Christian Bale type spy where he drastically changes his weight for all of his roles. He takes it very seriously. He's almost more of an actor than he is a spy, where he consumes himself in the idea of who he is. So he'll get really fat when he's going to like a big rich people party, or he'll get really skinny when he's working as like a undercover drug dealer, or something like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because then we can have all sides of it, you know? We can have cool James Bond style, good-looking spy, and we can also have the hilarious skinny or large guy.
Maybe maybe that's one of the, special spy technologies that they have. Helps to, it's a special pill that you take that helps, alter your metabolism in order to, like, increase it or decrease it at will, right? But I think
it's not meant for, like, what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to take it all the time like he's doing. There's, like, some very terrible side effects, maybe.
Like, we can occasionally make reference to the fact that he's, like, growing an extra, like, nose out of the back of his head. And he hasn't, like, noticed it yet. It's just a little lump.
Pokes through. He's got to shave it down every once in a while.
Yeah. But I think just in his natural state, when he's not missioning about, Barley should be a bit pudgy. You know?
A little bit pudgy.
A little pudgy, little,
Not
like,
fat, but, he's not...
Like a man in the 60s. Like a man who's fit in the 60s, which means that you can hold your chest up. Like, you can hold your breath. Someone can, like, you tighten your gut and someone can punch you in the stomach and you won't like immediately fall over. That's what it meant to be fit in the 60s.
Charlie would know because he was fit in the 60s.
I am fit for somebody in the 60s. I'm not fit for somebody in 2022, but I'm fit for somebody who is alive in the 60s. I can do more than one push-up.
Are you ready for the pilot?
4. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I just realized I had a first and last name for Barley.
Oh.
Barley was his last name.
Oh. What
his first name is Brusk.
Brusk Barley? God damn, that's funny. I like it. Brusk Barley.
So, I don't know. What are you thinking about that? You want to just call him Barley, or do you like Brusk?
I think everyone should call him Barley except for Ness. Ness should call him Brusk. And he's like, I hate that name. And she's like,
it's a cool name. Anyway.
Yeah.
Brusk.
Anyway.
Brusk goes to a masquerade party in Spain. That's the mission.
Uh-huh.
His mission is to kidnap Cristina Morova, a Spanish aristocrat with Russian ties. She's trying to implement a commie regime in Spain. You know, communists. That's
communism. It's a big deal in the 60s. That's what
spies are all about.
Yeah.
They don't like communists. His mission is to kidnap her quietly.
Oh.
Brusk is, he's going to the party and he's listening to part of the briefing on the ride over. But as he's approaching the house, he says, Antley, don't worry about it. I got this. It's easy. I just got to turn on the charm.
Yeah.
And then
he flips the
Antley
collar.
It's like, wait, no, it's and then he shuts off the earpiece.
I think it would be funny if we had a reoccurring gag of him taking the earpiece out and throwing it like out the car window or something. And like at every couple of episodes or every episode, he's like, those are really expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like that's thousands of dollars worth of like military hardware that you just throw away literally every mission. You fucking.
And we don't just leave it out there, right? We can't leave that there. We have to send people out. We send like 10 search teams to look for those. That's incredibly important technology that the Russians found. It'd be a huge problem.
Yeah. Also, an idea to just make it a little bit more comedic of a show. What if all of Barley's targets are named after modern day celebrities? Because you said
like 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said Christina something, and I was like, Morova. Christina Aguilera? What if he had to kidnap Christina Aguilera? She wasn't played, but the character isn't played.
What if he made like pseudo names, like, so Christina Aguilera, Christina Aguilaria, So it's like really close. You're like, that sounds familiar.
Christiana Aguilaria. Yeah.
Yep. That'd be funny. I like that.
And we get her to be played by Christina Aguilera.
So he throws the earpiece, and he starts milling through the party, having fun, making friends.
A seagull eats it off the ground.
It's masquerade, so he has a mask on, which was handed to him at the door.
Ooh.
And he meets a kind old spiteful lady who, he gets a drink, and he's hanging out with this old lady who's telling him all the gossip in exchange for drinks. Because, she's chilling in her corner by the fire, maybe.
Yeah.
Just sort of people watching, judging everyone. And he's hanging out with her, and she doesn't want to get up and get drinks, so, he's getting them.
He's getting
coming back, talking with her.
Whatever.
She's like, she's fun, telling him all the stuff that's going on at the party, all the, the little secrets everyone's got. And he learns that Christina has a twin sister who is the Spanish ambassador to the USA. So can't kidnap her.
Identical twins, I assume.
Identical twins, yes.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what to do because he threw his earpiece. And he's like, I have no idea how to figure out which one's which. It's Masquerade 2. And there's like some game where you have to guess which sister is which. They won't tell you.
Yeah.
So he fumbles and he's like, all right, well, I'll just pick one. 50-50,
Yeah.
So he meets one of the Morova twins, I guess Aguilaria now.
Yeah.
With the old lady's introduction. And he tries to seduce her. But he gets friend-zoned.
Ooh.
And the two are having a fun time. You know, they're hanging out, and he convinced her to play pool upstairs because they both like casual indoor games like pool and board games.
Yeah,
they found a joint passion.
They're both like they're both the kind of people who they like competitiveness, but they don't like physical activity. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's stuff that takes skill, but they don't want to actually get dirty, you know? Mm-hmm. They can have the conversation about that. Like, but it's so much better, you know, just being inside. There's, like, air conditioning.
Air conditioning. I can get a servant to bring me a drink, and then he snaps his finger, and somebody brings him a new bottle of water, a new glass of wine.
This is awesome, isn't it? Do you live all the time with this? And she's like, yeah. It's like, you and I, we're friends now, okay?
Maybe the dialogue, he's like trying to worm out of her which sister she is, and each line of dialogue gives him a clue to the other one. Like, she's like, you know, oh, I'm because one of them is the Spanish ambassador, right?
Yes.
And one of them is a Russian ambassador, or Russian...
Just has ties with Russians.
Okay.
To the communist regime. So she's like working with them.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Russian ambassador, but like she's, you know, on the low key.
But she's like, you know, he's talking to her like, so do you travel a lot for work? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm traveling all the time, all over Europe, you know, for my job, that sort of thing. She's like, oh, so what do you do for work? Oh, well, that's, you know, it's a little top secret, a little hush hush.
Diplomatic stuff.
But I can tell you this, a lot of gazpacho soup. Because gazpacho soup is Spanish. It's a Spanish dish. And he's like, oh, Spain. She's like, gazpacho soup and borscht. I love it all. You know? And he's
like trying to just probe and figure out which one it is. But it's all because their professions are kind of similar.
Yeah. Just
to different nations. He can't really figure out which one's which.
And maybe after he throws the earbud out of the car door and leaves, it gets picked up and swallowed by a seagull. So every couple of like minutes, we can switch back to the seagull, and we can just hear Antley talking. We can just hear from the seagull's stomach. He's like, Barley, not Charlie. Barley, pick up. Are you there, man? Are you trapped inside of a giant whale's stomach? You know, because that's all you hear inside a seagull's stomach.
Maybe he eventually realized, and it's like, I can't believe you did this again. I mean, this is ridiculous. You don't listen at all. You're gonna get yourself killed in there. Yeah,
he's bringing a suitcase, and it's like a big mysterious suitcase. You know, we don't know what's in it. He opens it, turns out it's just like dozens of those little earpieces because he keeps throwing them away. And he's like, I need a new one. Put the SIM card in. You know, get ready to go.
SIM card into an earpiece. Okay.
So
60s. While they're upstairs, this is the twin and Barley playing pool. A dart hits her neck, like a big blow dart.
Yeah.
Thing. Brusk turns, and it's Nessa. It's Ness. Another CSIS agent.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And she's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And they start arguing and chatting, and then they've got one little earpiece now because she had an earpiece. They're holding it in between them, listening to Antley talk because he's in charge of the mission, and he's yelling at both of them for being idiots. And he called her in because she was supposed to help out, because he obviously threw his earpiece away.
Yeah.
So he needed someone to do the mission. Because Barley had gone rogue, and they're arguing and chatting and. They're trying to figure it out, and he's like, okay. Look at, this is Antley. He's like, all right, look at her neck. Is there a birthmark below, I don't know.
The left
shoulder
ear.
blade.
Yeah.
Or something. And they're like, yeah, this is her. Like, he's like, yes, there is a birthmark? Like, yeah, it's right here. This is her. No, that's the ambassador.
If there's a birthmark, that's not the one you want. Oh,
like, shit, why didn't you just say that? He's like, I did. And they panic and put her behind the bar with an empty bottle of rum. They sort of stage her, to make it look like she got drunk and passed out.
Yeah.
Propping her up. They shuffle her hair a little bit so it looks like she got a little wild. And they put the bottle, they spill a little bit on her, so it looks like she's a little bit messy. They really play up the scene so it looks right. And maybe Barley gets really into it. He's like really trying to set it up. He's like, this is not the way a drunk looks. Like Ness, all right. Drunk would have the elbow over here. It'd be the hand would be kind of floppy a little bit. The bottle is gonna be on her chest, all right, because she was drinking and then she fell asleep. That's what happened, right?
And Barley strikes me as the kind of guy who would never waste alcohol. So instead of like pouring it down the drain to make it look like she drank a bunch of it, he's just gonna be like, he like downs like half the bottle, and he's like, you definitely be drunk after that.
Yeah, that'd be funny. He's like, he pours a little bit on her, pours a little bit on her hair, and then he drinks the rest.
Yeah, he's like,
and then he looks over at Ness. He's like, "What? I'm not gonna. This is really good rum. This is really expensive. Do you know how much for a bottle this is? I mean, I'm not gonna waste this."
And Ness is like, "You want to finish this game of pool?" And they finish the game of pool with the drunk ambassador, the ambassador passed out in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
While Ansley's yelling at them. But they've put the earpiece on the other side of the room, and Ness is like, yeah, I understand why you throw them away. He is loud.
I don't know if that's something Ness would do, because she's a very serious type.
She is.
Maybe he would suggest that, and she would say no.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that scene because it's funny, but at the same time, I'm not sure if it fits her character.
Maybe he like starts playing pool, and he's like, come on, get in on this, and she grabs the pool cues, like all 4 of them, and just snaps them on her leg all at once. It's like snaps them in half.
Yeah.
And she's
That'd
like,
be cool.
Because she's,
like, whoa, dramatic much. Jeez, you could have just said you didn't want to play.
God damn, alright, fine. We'll go do the thing, or whatever. What do we have to do again?
He's got childhood issues.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. You sure you don't want to drink? And, she just gives him a look, and he's like, fine. We gotta go get the Russian lady.
So they're, running out down the steps because they got to get away from the scene, and they got to find this other person. Mm-hmm. And they find Christina Morova, the correct twin, out back with a bunch of Russians. They're like, probably should have figured this out. She's hanging out with a bunch of Russians.
Yeah.
And they're leaving on a boat. And Ness pulls out a gun and shoots at them. And Brusk is like, what the hell? We could have played this off. We could have hung out with them. What the hell are you doing? She's like, we need to get them now. We can't stop. We need to get them. And he's like, look, why would you do that? We could have figured this out.
Yeah.
And so we, we fall into an epic boat chase.
Yeah.
Boat chases are cool. Who doesn't like boat chases? Maybe Ness is on a smaller speedboat, and Barley's got into a car. And so she's chasing them, shooting at them, dodging bullets, and he's on a car, and there's a bridge that's going up, drives over the bridge as it's going up, and lands in their boat, sinking their boat, hops out of the car, grabs Christina, and he can look back as he's swimming to shore with her and into the ocean, and see all the Russians with their legs trapped in the boat, screaming for him to get them. He's like, I feel bad, I should go back and get them.
Maybe
he brings her to shore and goes saves one of the Russians or something.
He grabs the Russian's hand, and as soon as he gets the Russian on the onto the beach, the Russian just pulls a knife out and tries to stab him, and he's got to kill the Russian.
Stabs him in the chest. He's like, "Oh my! I saved your life. You stabbed me!"
Dick. And he just shoots him.
Oh my god! And the Russian's like, I'm sorry. I didn't. Maybe I shouldn't have stabbed you.
Yeah,
and then Ness shoots him. He's like, oh my god, why did you shoot him? He was apologizing.
Wouldn't it be, I think it would be good if they do the boat chase, right? Ness is all gung-ho. She's like, I'm going after this boat, So they get on the boat and they start to drive away. I'm assuming it's kind of like a mini yacht. Not like a big boat, but a little yacht with more than one room.
Mm-hmm. Something that would get destroyed by a van or a car hitting it. It's not too big.
Ness dives into the water to swim to the boat, and Barley just looks at her and is like, fuck that, and he just gets in the car. He the Russian guy that she shot, he takes the car keys out of his pocket, just starts a car, and and just like he has a nice leisurely drive over to the bridge. You know, he's like,
there's like tons of space for him to get to the bridge in time.
Yeah. And, you know, she's like swimming, you know, and she's like doing this cool ass like John Wick style fight scene where she's like smashing Russians' heads against the wall, and she's shooting guys and, you know, dodging bullets and like throwing knives and stuff. And he's just like looking at the beautiful countryside, and, you know, he's like
turning up music really loud, you know.
Yeah. He's just enjoying, it's a vacation for him. And she's like just murdering like so many Russians. But at the end of the day, he's the one who stops the boat from leaving. You know, she gets cornered and like she's about to be shot when he drives the car. I think it would be even funny if he didn't like drive the car off of the bridge. Like he drove it off the bridge, but he didn't like vroom. He just kind of like slowly etched it off the bridge. And so it's like on the edge, like teetering on the edge. And then he just like pushes it over and the car slowly falls on top of the boat and sinks it. And he's like, that worked.
Then he jumps in, and I just thought of this. So maybe he has like a flower on his suit, like a little corsage.
Yeah.
And earlier, the old lady, or maybe the ambassador, is talking about it like, it's like, oh, that's a nice flower. Can I see it? And he's like, no, don't take that off. I'm like, why? It's like, just don't. And now later, he you know, he pushes the car off onto the boat. The boat starts sinking. He does a little pencil dive, or maybe some sort of like maybe does a cannonball. That'd be funny. Into the water, grabs Christina, and then he pulls out the corsage, and it's like the ripcord for a life jacket, and he floats up to the top with her.
And then like he saves Christina, and they both get on shore, and he's like, another mission successful. You read me? And he like he takes the earbud and he's like, you read me? We're all good to go. And Ness just like climbs out of the ocean. He like
covered in seaweed, blood. She's dragging like 2 Russians with her.
Yeah. You know, she's got like a broken
flips
arm.
them onto the shore. They're like, please don't kill us. Shoots them both.
Yeah.
Just like this really badass and cruel scene.
And then he's like, oh, Ness, that's good to see you too. Good job today.
Presses a button on his suit and it like dries him off.
And, you know, Christina Aguilera just hits her on the back of the head. What was it? Aguilera? Yeah.
Something like that.
Hits her on the back of the head. They get her, you know, they put her in a parachute. They bring her up to, you know, an airplane. They fly back to Canada. And they do, you know, interrogation. But it's not the CIA, so the interrogation is really polite. You know?
Yeah, they bring her some Tim Hortons. And they're all talking. All nice. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
You want some Timmies? Can I get you anything to make you more comfortable, you know? Sort of thing.
Instead of playing good cop, bad cop, they play good cop, good cop.
Good cop, moose.
There's a moose in there.
Just bring a moose in.
They leave her in the room with the moose, and that's almost more terrifying, because that thing could kill her.
Oh, so easy. It's terrifying. Mises are scary as shit.
Mises, yeah. All right, I've got a few episode ideas, because I kind of imagine this is just like a, you know, adventure of the week sort of show. We can throw in a big overarching plot line if we want, but it's really the small adventures that make it fun.
Wouldn't it be fun if he had a fist fight with Barley? Barley had a fist fight with Vladimir Putin when he was a KGB agent. That would be fun.
I don't know if I want to get too real. But yeah, I mean, that would be funny, but right now, I don't know if that would be the best time.
Maybe Barley... You remember when Reagan got shot at but didn't get shot?
Yeah.
Maybe Barley was like... He was aiming...
Fired.
He fired... He was like trying to shoot a presidential assassin. You know, there was a guy who was about to shoot Reagan. And he shot that guy but missed and just hit Reagan. And was like,
the assassin will like look up at him and like furrow his brow and be like, okay, and then just leave.
Like he gives him the thumbs up and leaves.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Maybe you could infiltrate the assassin organization later, because you'd be like, you're the guy that shot Reagan. I remember you. Yeah. We did. Yeah, it was
Good times.
He immediately gets promoted to like this assassin organization's like board of directors because he shot Reagan.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the other ideas I got. They play a Russian game show to steal some notes from the game show host who is like an oligarch, or he's got some information that they need about troop movements and nukes and stuff like that. Always going to be kind of vague about the information because they don't really need to know what that is as the spies. It's going to be a clear thing throughout the show that they don't really know what they're doing. They just know that they're doing it. Maybe we can have an overarching plot line tied to that they finally investigate what they're doing and they realize that most of the time their job is completely pointless.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Or maybe they're actually helping like the bad guys or something.
Literally, like they get all of the information. They get the info and then like hand it to their superior officer. Their M like reads it, throws it into an incinerator, and it's like, good job.
Most of the time it's useless. They're like, it was good work. You did all this stuff, but we knew this last week because they posted it on a
forum.
Yeah, no, the internet doesn't exist. Posted on a wall.
Yeah.
All the posters in Russia have this stuff all written on it.
Good job, sissies. Yeah.
Or maybe one of their spy planes, like, we saw it on the planes. It's getting clear that the newer technology is doing the work better than this like crazy cool spy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're on the game show, gotta steal the notes from the host. And they get on the show because they're contestants. And Brusk, the plan is that they're supposed to get out early so that they hang out in the back room and steal the notes. Brusk is competitive.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting really far in the game show. And ends up winning. But it's a rigged game show is the issue. He's supposed to not answer the last question right. They told him this before, but he knows it, so he says it.
Yeah.
And this ends up to him being exposed and having to run. So they the whole show is about him like nailing all these questions. And Ness and Antley both being, horrified because he's gonna blow their cover, and also kind of proud because they're like, wow, he knows this.
He knows this stuff. We can like he gets all the things. He's like, I'm a winner, yay! And all of like the confetti comes down, and like beautiful Russian models like bring out a crown and a sash to put on him, and like hand him a suitcase full of money, and he's so happy. And then we do like a match cut to him like making the same face, wearing the same clothes, but he's getting beaten. Like he's tied to a chair and he's just being beaten by these two Russian thugs in an alley.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Totally worth it.
He splits up blood and he's like, no, it was good. It was worth it. I'm glad I did it.
If we decide to pursue the relationship between Ness and Barley, I have an episode where they're on a train from Moscow to Warsaw, and they spend the entire trip debating their relationship while they kick ass to steal information. So they're going through the train compartment by compartment, switching outfits, taking out people, stealing stuff, doing all this like cool spy stuff. But they're just arguing the whole time. Yeah.
And like I'm kind of imagining it like that scene in The Suicide Squad where they're just brutally murdering these people. Like absolutely savagely killing these guys, but acting like it's totally nonchalant. Like Barley walks up behind a guy and like sticks a knife through his neck and it comes out of his mouth, and he's like, oh god, that's a horrible way to die, And it's like, all right, so what were you saying about my taste in music or whatever?
Yeah. And so she's like, you're always trying to one-up me, and she kills the guy by throwing a knife at his head. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking. He throws a knife at a person and throws two knives and nail the guy in both the eyeballs.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right in both the eyeballs. The other one's just in the forehead. She's like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm just, what am I? I'm just doing me. Do you not want me to be me? I can be someone else if you want. I'll be someone else, huh? I'll be Richard. You want me to be Richard? They never explain who Richard is. Just some other guy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like he throws the two daggers in the eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. He throws like 3 more or 4 more, and it makes a smiley face on the guy's face. And they're like, see, that was just an accident. That was accidental, Yeah.
So that's one. I got another one where Brusk disguises himself as a detective to get close to the East German chief of police, but ends up really interested in his job and his investigations.
Yeah.
And the whole episode is just about him and this like detective noir investigation in East Germany as he investigates a murder.
And he's got a little German
and
buddy.
he's literally not doing anything with the chief of police. He's supposed to be like getting like buddy with him, but instead they're arguing about the case. And he's like, the chief of police is like, I'm gonna take you off this case, Brusk. You're too hot. He's like, I got this. I couldn't do it, chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the whole episode is like that. And at the very end, he finally solves the case. He gets like a medal from the chief of police, and then he steals the information.
Like 5 minutes.
And Aunt Lee is like, I don't. Why did you take so long? He's like, look, all right. We all got our ways. You got yours. I got mine.
He he gets the medal from the chief of the police, and the police chief is like, congratulations, Brusk. You're truly a credit to your, nation and to this police department. Please come into my office and have a drink with me. And he goes in his office, and he, looks at his hand because he's written down what he has to do. He's like, kill police chief, take files. He's like, oh, okay. And he just, snaps his neck while he's, making a drink.
Yeah.
And he's like, thanks for the medal, bro. And he, takes the files and he leaves. And just...
To expand the notes, let's say it's, part 1, become a extremely successful investigator and receive the Golden Cross. And he just, scratches his head off.
Yeah.
And then it's, kill police chief, steal notes. Shoots him, takes the notes, scratches both those off.
Yeah, takes the drink that he poured for the police chief poured for him, and just whistles as he walks outside of the building.
Everyone's saluting him as he walks out.
He's like, yep, 100% good, yeah. Happy to help you guys.
I am a hero.
Maybe he could the case is he caught a serial killer. We made it 6:30. So he catches a horrible deranged serial killer, but that's the B plot of this episode. We could have an entire the entire B plot is basically the Silence of the Lambs, but Barley's just not taking it seriously at all. That would be
I kind of wanted it to seem like he lost his spy way, and he was an investigator. He's taking it really seriously. And he's freaking narrating. Narrating is not something we do in the show. Yeah. Now he's doing that detective noir narration, where he's like, it was a cold, windy night when she walked in. Every case. We had to do it.
Every time we go into a new scene, he's wearing a classic private eye fedora, and every once in a while, somebody will be like, "Where'd you get that hat?" He's like, "What hat? What the fuck? Where'd that come from?"
Or maybe he plays it off. He's like, I don't know. They just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Puts it down.
You want a drink? It's 8 a.m.
Yeah. His voice has dropped several octaves.
You want a drink? Barley, it's 8 a.m.
Oh my god.
I just had my coffee. I just dropped my kids off at school. Of course I want a drink. Yeah.
It's the 60s. Of course I want a drink.
We'll each do one push-up together, and then that'll be our workout for the year.
I don't know where you got this view of the 60s, but whatever.
That's all they were doing. They were smoking cigars, and they were eating bad food, and they were listening to Frank Sinatra, and they were like, good job, Frankie.
Yeah, that's what they all said. They all, in unison, all said at the same time.
Good job, Frankie. Yeah, I remember.
My last idea is he disguises himself as a high-ranking Russian leader, high-ranking Russian leader, and tours a KGB facility. And he's supposed to be going through and, trying to steal information. But he ends up, getting really upset at them because their facility is just not what it should be. He's like, yeah, this is... I mean, you guys are miles behind the Americans, and don't even get me how far you are behind the Canadians. Who you really need to worry about. It's not the Americans, it's the Canadians, I'm telling you.
He gets really...
we don't talk... He gets really upset because they don't really worry about the Canadians at all. And he's like, oh, you should worry. I'm telling you, you need to put people on those Canadians because they're after you. They're like, oh, but it's the Americans. They're the ones who kidnapped Christina Morova or Christina Aguilaria. And he's like, no, that was the Canadians. I'm telling you.
He's
really upset.
He's really anal retentive about like office efficiency. Mm-hmm. And he's like, if you're making 2 trips to the copy maker, also bring paper with you, all right? Like he starts establishing rules for this Russian office, and like it becomes like super efficient, and the Russians like, make some huge technological breakthrough. And he's
he does all this stuff that like pushes them forward and propels them forward. Mm-hmm. But then he steals the notes and like maybe blows up part of the facility at the end. He's like, it was so perfect. Yeah. For such
I put a lot of work into that break room. I'm sorry it had to go.
I just wish I could have finished working on those lights. The bulbs, they weren't bright enough. It was hard. It hurt their productivity. There should have been more windows.
There should have been more windows.
Now there's a big window.
One big window that's on fire. Yeah. All right.
Maybe as he's leaving, he's like, everyone out of the facility in a single file line. Do not panic.
Go. We've practiced this. Everybody, go to your fire stations. All right. Everybody, line up with your homeroom classes. Okay. Remember it's alphabetical order. And he tries to like organize them, but he doesn't know the Russian alphabet, so he's like, I don't fucking know. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, and as everyone's doing that, he just slips away. Gets onto like what are those things called that you ride through the snow? Snowmobiles. Gets on a snowmobile and just fucks off. Yep. Do they have snowmobiles in the 60s?
I don't know, maybe. James Bond had snowmobiles, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, alright, great. And what was this show called again?
Average Intelligence.
I like it. I would watch a good couple of episodes of this. But now
at least one.
At least one. Probably more. Now, are you thinking the show would be animated or live action? I was thinking live action.
I think it could be live action because it's not too complicated. Yeah. There's no big green screens, fantasy stuff. The gadgets are kind of crazy. It'd probably be coolest live action. Yeah. So live action.
Yeah. And
who would you like to play in this show, Charlie?
Can I play somebody that like the gadgets get tested on?
The gadgets get tested on.
Yeah. Like they have like, we have a sleep dart. We've been developing this sleep dart. We're testing it on the intern. Yeah. And it's me, and I just get shot with a sleep dart. And then for the rest of the episode, I'm just lying on the floor, like crumpled into a big ball, crying. Because it's like, there was a bit too much psychoactive chemicals in that sleep dart. He's seeing dragons right now. Yeah. The walls are melting. It's bad. We thought LSD would make him go to sleep. It didn't. Didn't work. Not. It's the 60s. It's a different time. Mm-hmm. And who would you want to play?
I want to be, despite the fact that I don't have a Russian accent, I want to be the Russian that Barley drags out of the water. Oh, and then stabs him, and then feels bad about stabbing him, and then gets shot.
And gets shot immediately in the back of the head. That'd be fun. I agree. And last, but certainly not least, what song do you want to play on over the credits?
The James Bond theme.
No.
We probably need our own orchestral spy theme, Yeah. I need some sort of like...
Well, what if we did like a 60s style, like jazzy...
I like jazz. I like jazz.
Yeah. We could get like, because the 60s was when like psychedelic music first started really becoming big. So you could do like a weird psychedelic jazzy version of a spy theme. And that could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I like some saxophones, some
tuba.
Some tubas.
The drums.
Some other jazz instruments.
Yeah. Piano, probably.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I certainly enjoyed that pilot, and we hope that you did too. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Stitcher, Deezer.
Not Deezer.
Not Deezer. Spotify.
Actually, maybe Deezer. I don't know. You're gonna have to check if it's on Deezer. If Deezer's a real website, we haven't been making this up this whole time.
Yeah, Deezer might be fake. But if you like what you heard here, please do all those things. Write in the comments, what song do you think we should play at the end? And who would you want to play in the show? What other celebrities should we cast as targets or victims? Thank you all for listening. Have a good week. We will see you back here next week with a brand new idea for a brand new television show.
Mm-hmm. Be on time. Don't be late.
Don't be late.
We know when you're late.
Always.
We always mark you up, too.
Yep.
Mark you down.
On your permanent record.
Something. We write your name on the board. You don't like that, do you?
Yeah.
Gotta sit there in class all day wondering why your name's on the board.
And if you're like me, you would just assume it's for a good reason and then stop thinking about it. That's what I always did in school. All right.
Well, you were wrong.
Yeah, I was always wrong.
You were wrong. Anyway.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.